Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. My name is Priscilla Rojas and welcome to my YouTube channel. I really wanted to make this video because I want to share with you my experience and my knowledge that I have accumulated throughout these past 10 years in the fitness industry. If you don't already know who I am a personal trainer, a group exercise instructor, an animal flow instructor, and a performance enhancement specialist. I have tried just about every freaking workout. I live in South Florida and I've been to almost every gym in South Florida just to experience it and understand what their style of training is. I love to travel specifically to try out different gyms. All of my friends are trainers, all of my friends are athletes. I live this life and it's taken me 10 years to accumulate as much information as I have, and I want to share it with you. Most of the questions that I get on a regular basis are questions that are coming from beginners. Beginners because if you are someone who just shows up to a gym to take a class, you might not understand why you're taking that class, what it's doing to your body, why the instructor chose the exercises that they chose or in the order that they chose, because obviously there are different types of workouts for different people. Now, as soon as you leave the gym, what are you doing? Because that plays such a big role in the results that you will get. I want to share with you my top 8 things I wish I knew before getting into the fitness industry. Number 1. Before getting into the fitness industry, I wish I would have known that more is not more, less can be more. Does that make sense? It's not always about how often you train or how hard you train. It's very important to maintain a healthy balance because your recovery is just as important as your training. I thought I had to go hard, hashtag no days off, hashtag never not working, hashtag sleep is for suckers. Negative. This is all very negative. It's the same thing in the gym as it is outside of the gym. If you are running on fumes in your regular life because you work so hard and so much that you don't get adequate recovery, it's going to be the same thing in the gym. Recovery is just as important as your training. Numero dos. I wish somebody would have told me that carbs are not the enemy, because I love carbs and carbs are your friend. In today's society, there's a lot of information going around that is not necessarily true. Whether you're trying to gain muscle or improve your performance, regardless of which one it is, I can tell you right now that my body fat composition was at its lowest when my carbs were at the highest. It's important to understand that the type of training that you do is going to correlate directly with the amount of carbs that you should be consuming. Highly important for muscle growth, muscle recovery, performance. Carbs are your friends, not your enemies. Numero tres. Your eating and nutrition will determine your gains. Even when I started off in high school as a swimmer, I would swim 2 hours a day after school. I would come home with this massive appetite. My grandmother would cook rice and beans and pork chops and plátano maduros, and I'd eat all of it, and I'd always go back for seconds. And I'd be eating these big plates of food like if I was a man. And they used to tell me all the time, it's okay, you can eat whatever you want as long as you're exercising. I mean, I was maintaining my figure. I was pretty lean as a 15, 16-year-old girl because my senior year in high school, I started weightlifting. After high school, I got into CrossFit, heavy deadlifting, heavy back squatting, and I didn't know how to properly fuel my body. It took me a massive amount of time to see any changes in my body, and it wasn't until I started counting my macros that I started to understand how important my nutrition was alongside my training. Don't let them lie to you. Numero cuatro. Sleep is when you grow. We get by just fine sleeping 6 to 7 hours a night. It's not a problem. There are nights where we do 3 to 4 hours and it's not a big deal. We'd rather have fun than to get 8 hours of sleep. As time goes on, your body starts asking for different things. Recovery is one of them, and sleep is part of recovery. Sleep is when you grow. At night, during your meridian cycle, hormonal changes that happen in your body that are absolutely necessary for that muscle growth. Get your sleep. Número 5. Proper warm-ups and stretching are detrimental to your performance and your strength gains. There were days when I would run into the gym and I would just jump into my workout. Which I remember one time I walked into my CrossFit gym and there were a couple of girls snatching, and all the guys were watching, and they saw me walk in and they said, "Hey, can you do this?" Young and dumb. Of course. If you challenge me, I'm gonna fucking do it. So I grab the barbell and I start snatching. I think back to those days and I just can't believe what I've done to myself. I've been very lucky in the sense that I haven't had any major injuries. However, I am surrounded by people who have experienced major injuries. Don't put yourself in a vulnerable position. Number 6, stop obsessing over how you look. It's not always about what you look like. I know that a lot of us find an interest in fitness because we want to look a certain way, but it's not only about that. It's about learning how to achieve new goals. It's learning how to perfect new skills. It's learning how to do things with your body that you've never been able to do before. There's so much gratification that comes out of that that nothing else in the world can give you. That feeling of success, that's something that nobody can take away from you. Number 7, fitness friends are important. I love everybody and I have all types of friends, but it's important to surround yourself with people who have the same interests because it's gonna help you to become more successful. It's a fucking lifestyle. I know it sounds cliche and it's so annoying to hear. If I don't eat pizza, why am I gonna hang out with people who are eating pizza every night? I'm just gonna wanna eat pizza. Of course I wanna eat pizza. That's why it's so important to have self-discipline and have a routine to keep yourself in check. It just is what it is. Last but not least, number 8. Learn to love it. If you want to do this for yourself so that you can feel successful, you can feel happier about who you are, so that you can like what you look at in the mirror, so that you can seek progress in your life, then you have to learn to love it. Everything in life is perspective. I could be doing something right now and telling myself how much I hate it, or I can be doing the same thing right now and telling myself how much I love it. It's up to you, because the objective here is to be healthy and happy. Those are my top 8 things that I wish I knew before I got into this fitness journey. I hope I gave you some information that you can take away from this video. And if I did, like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your homies. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.